Hello everybody, this is Louis from LoukProp and welcome to another episode of Real Reviews by LoukProp. Today we are talking about one of the newest launches that will be coming up in April, which is called One North Eden. So let's go. So for all those who are new here, usually we do these reviews based on 5 major factors. Number 1, location. Number 2, development quality and facilities. Number 3, pricing. Number 4, potential rental yield. And number 5, stack selection. So let's move on to our first point, location. Okay, in terms of location, now One North Eden is actually a small size development that's located right inside the Greater One North cluster. So if you want to know more about the Greater One North transformation, we've actually done quite an in-depth review on it during the review of Normanton Park, so you can take a look at it. So if you want a summary of what we discussed earlier on in that review video, basically the RIE 2025 states that the government will invest $25 billion into R&D for tech and innovation purposes. And of course, One North region will be the center of all that, including Mediapolis, Biopolis and Fusionopolis. So this entire cluster will be able to house about 120,000 jobs in the area, and in our opinion, there will be an increase in demand of housing in this immediate area. Okay, however, in this immediate area, there are only 4 projects we're talking about: Dover Park View, Heritage View, One North Residences and the Rochester Residences. Now, even if you were to add in Normanton Park or One North Eden, in total, there will be 4,000 units supplying for 120,000 jobs in this One North region. This is the reason why we believe there will be an undersupply. So a few minutes walk from One North Eden, you'll also see Rochester Commons, which is undergoing construction right about now. This one is an integrated development that integrates a digital campus. You have corporate offices, event spaces, we have F&B outlets, establishments, we have a 135-room hotel that's being built there as well. So it will be pretty exciting for the area for this undergoing transformation. For transport and connectivity, you will have 2 MRT stations that's very near to you. You have Buona Vista Station and you have One North Station. 9 minutes walk and 5 minutes walk respectively. If you're talking about schools, there are many good schools nearby. ACSI, ACJC, you have Tanglin Trust School, you even have NUS School, which is 1 station away. If you're talking about shopping and eating, you have Rochester Mall and you have Star Vista nearby, within minutes walk. If you want to go to Holland Village, it's also 1 station away. So based on not only the ongoing transformation that's happening there, in terms of amenities, connectivity, schools, you get everything within minutes walk of this project. So for ratings for location, I'll give it a 4.5 over 5. So now for development quality and facilities. Now, as I said earlier on, One North Eden is a small size development consisting of 165 units. The developer is TID Private Limited, which is a joint venture between Hong Leong and Mitsui Fudosan, which is one of the largest private developers in Japan. So in Singapore, they are a very experienced developer. Some of the more notable projects they've done so far is St. Regis Hotel Residences, Optima and Tanah Merah, and also most recently Forest Woods at Serangoon. For facilities, One North Eden is a small size development, so there are very limited facilities inside this project. But you do get all the standard facilities that you need. What's surprising about this project is, although it's a small size development, you still get the full 50 meters lap pool. Alright, in fact, you also get your gym, which is a cantilevered gym. You also get your barbecue pavilions, function rooms, clubhouses. So everything you need in the project, you will still have the facilities available for you. Now on the first level, there are also 6 commercial shops, which will include restaurants as well. In terms of provisions, we don't have all the information yet, but what we know is that they will be providing Bosch appliances. They'll also be providing smart home systems as well. Now, one thing interesting about One North Eden is the way it's being constructed. So in Singapore, there are 2 ways to construct buildings. One is by what we call PPVC, which is a prefab method, reminiscent of how a HDB is being built, so Lego style of building. The other way, which One North Eden is utilizing, is called in situ building. So cast in situ building is a traditional way of building from ground up. Right? So the advantages of cast in situ is that, number 1, you will have a high level of strength. Number 2, there's a high level of insulation as well. So that's a plus point for One North Eden. So in terms of car park lots, do note that it is not a 1-to-1 provision, it is an 80% provision of car park lots, which will include 132 lots, 3 handicap lots, 3 commercial lots, 1 washing bay and 1 EV charging station, which is in preparation for future popularity of electric cars. Now for rating for development quality and facilities, combining all the factors, all the plus points and minus points, we'll be rating it 3.5/5. So for pricing, now One North Eden, we don't have a very firm pricing just yet, but the indicative pricing is from 1,008 to 2,000 per square foot. Now if this pricing holds true, we think that it's a very good pricing for One North Eden. Why? Because the competitors, namely Kent Ridge Hill Residences and also Normanton Park, are priced at 1,008 to 1,009 for Kent Ridge Hill and 1,007 to 1,008 plus for Normanton Park. If you compare the locations of all these 3 developments, obviously One North Eden is in a more superior location. Therefore, we feel that if there's a 100 or so per square foot increase in price over Normanton Park and Kent Ridge Hill Residences, it's a very fair premium to pay for One North Eden. Okay, so one thing we have found really interesting about One North Eden and what makes it so attractive is actually the quantum of the units being sold around here. Now, take for example a 2-bedder that's being sold in this region. One North Residences and the Rochester Residences, for their 2-bedders, they are going from 1.5 to 1.8 million. Now for One North Eden, the 2-bedders are starting from 1.3 plus million. So for future buyers who are very budget constrained and don't mind a smaller size 2-bedder, right, the natural choice would be to go for a 2-bedder unit in One North Eden. Why? Because they'll be making savings of about 200 to 500 plus K just in terms of price alone. So for ratings, now if the pricing of 1,008 to 2,000 per square foot holds true, we feel that this is a good price considering its location. So we'll give it a 4/5. So now for rental, as we have discussed earlier on, there's an abundant amount of tenant pools in the immediate region, including the One North region whereby there are offices in Mediapolis, Visionopolis, Biopolis, and also schools nearby. Right, so we'll go into more detail about the rental prices of the competitors nearby. So for Rochester Residences, the 1-bedder rentals are from 3,000 to 3,900 a month. For One North Residences, it is from $2,600 to $3,500 a month. So let's take the lower end of all these rentals, $2,600 to $3,000 a month for One North Eden. Now considering the indicative prices for One North Eden, with this rental in mind, we'll be achieving a 3.1 to 4.2% in terms of rental yield, which is a very good rental yield for any projects out there. If we were to do the same calculations for the 2-bedders as well, we will also be achieving a 3.1 to 4.2% in terms of rental yield based on the indicative prices of One North Eden. So because of the high rental volume in this area and also the high rental yield that you can achieve even with conservative prices, we'll give the rating for rental at 4.5/5. So next, for stack selection. So as usual, we'll be separating it into ideal stacks, average stacks, and not so ideal stacks. So the ideal stacks are these 4 stacks. And these are the average stacks. And these are the not so ideal stacks. So for the average stacks and the not so ideal stacks, the difference is very minimal. But if we really want to be very picky, stacks 4, 5, 6 and 7 are actually chosen as the not so ideal stacks because they are not only facing West Sun, they are also situated at the corner of the development where they are facing the traffic junction. So there might be an increase in level of traffic noise. So in terms of ratings for stack selection, we'll give it a 3.5/5. So after considering all the different factors and the ratings for each factor, the overall rating for One North Eden is 4/5. So we hope this review has been helpful for you. Now what other new launches do you want us to review? Leave it down in the comment section below. Right, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. This is Louis from LoukProp and see you in the next episode.